All right, guys, let's talk about the stuff that flies right under your radar. Those sneaky little verbal clues a woman drops when she's not just interested, but really interested. I'm talking about the moments that make you stop and think, wait, what did she mean by that? Today I'm breaking down 10 unusual things a woman might say when she's testing the waters for something a little more intimate. Let's dive in. 1. You remind me of someone I used to date. Okay, when a woman says this, you might brush it off as harmless chatter. But let's pause for a second. She's not just reminiscing about her ex over brunch. This is a strategic move. By drawing a connection between you and a past relationship, she's planting the idea that you could be, well, boyfriend material. Here's the kicker. This isn't a direct comparison. She's not saying you're a carbon copy of her ex. She's associating you with someone who once held her attention. That's her way of softening the idea of you two together without coming right out and saying, hey, I like you. It's subtle, it's clever, and most guys completely miss it. Now, if she adds something like, but you're way funnier than he was, or you've got much better taste, that's a green light, my friend. She's not just reminiscing, she's elevating you in her mind. 2. Do you think I'm intimidating? Oh man, this one's a classic. If she asks you this, don't panic. She's not actually worried about scaring you off. What she's really doing is testing your confidence. She wants to know if you can handle her energy, her vibe, her everything. Think of this as her throwing down a playful gauntlet. When a woman says, am I intimidating? She's inviting you to rise to her level. She's checking if you're the kind of guy who can stand toe-to-toe with her without getting rattled. The wrong move? Acting all shy or brushing it off with, oh no, not at all. Instead, lean into it. Say something like, a little, but I think I can handle it. Boom. That's how you match her energy and flip the script. Suddenly, you're the intriguing one. 3. Why aren't you married yet? Now, this one can catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. On the surface, it might sound like she's just making polite conversation. But trust me, this is no casual observation. This is her way of saying, you're a catch. What's the deal? Here's the thing. Women don't just throw this question around. If she's asking why no one's locked you down yet, she's not so secretly wondering if she should be the one to do it. And if you respond with something like, I just haven't met the right person, you're handing her an opening to say, well, maybe you have now. Watch her face when she asks this question. If there's even a hint of a smirk or a playful glint in her eye, she's testing the waters, seeing if you'll bite. Don't overthink it. Just let her know you're open to the idea of the right person coming along. You'll know pretty quickly if she's volunteering for the job. 4. Would you ever move for love? This one is sneaky because it sounds so random, right? Like who just asks about relocating out of nowhere? But here's the deal. This is a feeler question. She's not asking about moving because she's suddenly inspired to pack her bags. She's gauging how far you're willing to go for someone you care about. This is her way of testing your level of commitment and adventure. A guy who's willing to uproot his life for love, that's a man she can imagine herself with. And if she's already imagining that, well, you're doing something right. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If she follows this up with a story about how she'd totally move for the right person, you know exactly what's going on. She's not just asking hypotheticals. She's hinting that you might be worth the risk. 5. I need a guy's opinion on something. This might seem innocent, like she just wants advice about which shoes to buy or whether pineapple belongs on pizza. But don't get it twisted. When a woman comes to you for your opinion, especially if it's about something personal, she's not just looking for guidance. She's creating a connection. Here's why this works. Asking for your perspective elevates your role in her life. It's like saying, hey, I value what you think, and I want to know how you see things. It might be small, but it's meaningful. And if she's asking about relationships or emotional stuff, game on. That's her opening a door to deeper conversations and deeper connections. The next time she says something like, what do you think about this situation with my friend? Don't just give a bland textbook answer. Lean in. Show her that you're not just another voice in the crowd. You're the one she can trust. All right, We've covered 5 unusual verbal signs women drop when they're interested. Now let's get into the next batch. These are the clues you might hear in conversation that seem casual but are actually loaded with meaning. Pay attention. If you've ever brushed these off, you could be missing your chance to connect on a whole new level. Let's jump in with number 6. What's the craziest thing you've ever done for someone you cared about? This isn't just a question, it's an invitation. When she asks this, she's not compiling a list of heroic acts for fun. She's testing your ability to go all in for someone you care about. It's her way of measuring how passionate or committed you can be in a relationship. Here's the kicker. If your answer involves some wild, over-the-top gesture, like driving hours to surprise someone or doing something completely out of your comfort zone, she's going to see you as someone who can make her feel valued. And that's the magic word, valued. Women aren't just attracted to effort, they're drawn to men who show they're willing to make their partner feel like a priority. Oh, and if she follows up with her own craziest thing story, it's not just about swapping fun anecdotes. She's laying the groundwork for a deeper connection and subtly showing you the lengths she'd go to for someone she likes. 7. Do you believe in soulmates? All right, let's be real. This one is a bit of a curveball. It's not the kind of question you hear every day, and that's what makes it stand out. When a woman asks you this, she's not quizzing you on your spiritual beliefs. She's fishing for your thoughts on deep, meaningful connections. This question opens the door to an emotionally charged conversation. If you say something like, "I think soulmates are people we feel an instant connection with," she's going to mentally map that response to your dynamic with her. The subtext here is, "Do you think I could be your soulmate?" She's not going to say that outright, but trust me, it's there. Now, if she leans in, smiles, or follows up with something like, "I think I've met a few people who felt like soulmates," she's testing the waters to see if you'll take the conversation in a more personal direction. Don't let this one slide past you. Engage with it. You might be surprised where it leads. 8. Do you ever think about quitting your job and doing something wild? This one's sneaky. It sounds like she's asking about career goals or life choices, but it's much more layered than that. What she's really doing is gauging your sense of adventure and willingness to take risks. Think about it. People who are open to making bold moves in their careers or personal lives often approach relationships with the same mindset. By asking this, she's subtly figuring out if you're the type of person who's willing to step outside the box, someone who isn't afraid to take a leap. And here's the twist. If she shares her own wild dreams, like moving to a different country or starting a business, she's not just opening up about herself. She's planting the idea of shared adventures. It's a classic what-if scenario, designed to get you imagining what it would be like to take those risks with her. 9. Who do you hang out with? On the surface, this might seem like a throwaway question, but it's anything but. When she asks about your social circle, she's trying to understand the people who are closest to you. But there's a second layer to this. She's mentally placing herself in your world. Here's how it works. By learning about your friends, she's figuring out how she might fit into your life. If she follows up with questions like, "Do you hang out with them often?" or "What do you usually do together?" she's doing a compatibility check. She wants to know if your social vibe aligns with hers. And if she drops hints about her own circle, like, "You'd get along so well with my friends," she's doing more than making conversation. That's her testing the idea of blending your lives together, even in small hypothetical ways. 10. What's your love language? Okay, this one's a big deal. If she's bringing up love languages, she's not just talking about the latest self-help trend. She's figuring out how you express affection, and more importantly, how she'd receive it from you. Here's the thing. Love languages are all about connection. Whether it's physical touch, words of affirmation, or acts of service, this question isn't just idle curiosity. It's her way of mapping out how the two of you might show up for each other in a relationship. And if you've never thought about your love language, now's the time to start. Pay attention to her reaction when you answer. If she nods, smiles, or agrees, she's likely aligning her own preferences with yours. And if she shares her love language after you've shared yours, she's opening a door for you to connect on a deeper level. Don't let it close. So there you have it, 10 verbal signs that cut through the noise and go way beyond the usual flirty banter. These are the subtle, deeper cues that most guys overlook but can completely change the game if you catch them. If you've spotted one, or all 10, don't let them slip by. Engage, lean in, and see where the conversation takes you. Now, let's hear from you. Have you noticed any of these signs before? Share your stories in the comments below, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.